It's time.
What the bloody hell is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's the King of the Couch back in your ear holes for another edition of the King of the Couch podcast, the world's fucking greatest podcast, probably. Now, I'm back. The King is back. He had a week off, holidaying, gallivanting around with his family and his loved ones, but I'm back. It was nice, actually, to have a week off. Gives me time to get away from the mic, evidently get away from the YouTube, get away from the video. But I'm back. I do miss it. I've got to be honest, I do miss it. And I was very grateful last week. Normally when I don't put on a show, the numbers go down a little bit. But they actually went up last week. So I don't know. I was creating some sort of buzz around, there was absence. And people were just like, what's that old saying? Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Something like that. Anyway, so it was fucking crazy. But people were just like so stoked to get me down their ear holes because they couldn't. Naturally, it doesn't matter, but I'm fucking back. This is episode 117 of the King of the Couch podcast. I'm sitting in here in my room. Frankly, it's humid as fucking Queensland right now. I'm hot as fuck. It's 9:29 p.m. on a Monday night. It's the 8th of the 11th, 2021. Let's fucking go. I'm sitting here in a Hawaiian shirt. I will say, people are going, why are you wearing a Hawaiian shirt, Az? Why are you wearing a Hawaiian shirt? It's fucking Monday night, 9:30. It's because I like to fucking party, all right? That's why. I like to fucking party, okay? But no, for real, it's one of those things I just like to do, Let me readjust my mic here. But yeah, I've been away trying to get my bearings back. It's crazy. I had 5 days off work. I got to the computer this morning. I was just like, what the fuck do I do again? Like, it takes you a good 1, 2, 3 hours to sort of just shake the cobwebs off, even after a week away, because I'm a guy that likes to holiday, you know what I mean? I like my job. There's nothing wrong with my job and things like that, but it's nice to get away, and this was a holiday I completely just switched off. We'll go deep into my holiday and a couple of things that have happened in the last week. We've got a bit of health to talk about tonight. I've started a new program, so I've got a bit of accountability. I want to dive deep on that, so I'm going to sort of really give you progress updates on that because it's King of the Couch, right? It's my whole life. This is what I do. I give you everything. I bleed my heart and soul right down your ear holes every Monday evening. But straight off the back, bit of housekeeping. If you're not subscribed on Spotify or Apple or any fucking listening platform that you get me on, go and do that right now. And if you would like to watch this mug on YouTube, sitting here in this beautiful Hawaiian shirt, fucking unbutton, the 2-button policy I love running, subscribe, please. I've got like almost double digits on the subscription. So yeah, really fucking kicking on. Got 1 comment so far. Very, very cool. Thanks, Jared. But yeah, just totally stoked and grateful that I can be in your eyes and down your ears, something like that anyway. So yeah, do that. If you want to comment on a fucking thing, do that. That'd be great too. But pay it forward. The biggest thing you could do for me is pay it forward. If you like anything you hear in the show, something that's made you laugh, that's made you think, get a lot of feedback from people, like you made me think different about that, or I really appreciate that, or I'm glad you opened up there because I have a really hard time doing that myself, and now I feel better about doing that with my partner or my kids or whatever it is. I'm not a martyr or anything like that. I'm just a guy just spilling his guts, his heart and soul every Monday night. Well, every second Monday at this point sometimes. But I can take a week off. I'm a human fucking being, all right? Just straight off the top, though, a bit of news that's come in hot across my desk. FBI agents have discovered an estimated 16 million pictures of men's genitals, also known as dick pics, during a raid on an NSA employee's home this week. That's a lot of cock. 16 million cocks. That's a hell of a lot. A lot of nudes to carry. I'm assuming it's on a laptop or she's got one of them really, really big iPhone storages. But can you just imagine being the woman that just like is harvesting 16 million cock pictures? Whatever, it's bad. I'm not gonna joke about it. I'm not gonna bring light to it because that's disgusting. You know what I mean? I just like to see something like this because if the tables were turned, it would be a very, very sick thing. When men do it, it's disgusting. So when this woman does it, it has to be equally disgusting. For equality purposes, it's disgusting. I had to look up what the NSA was though. It's National Security Agency. Makes me think that she had access to that and she didn't off her own back. Work hard to get those 16 million dick pics. She just stole them basically. There was no effort involved. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I'm so stoked to be back here tonight. I will say tonight I'm not drinking. Part of my healthy little thing. I've got a fucking water bottle here. Got some sea salt in there. We got some stuff about sea salt in here tonight. We'll talk about that later. I'm gonna take a sip though. Delish. My week away. Let's go back a bit. Right, this is the potty. Last week, Monday last week. Finished up work last Friday. It was great. I was really in the mood to finish up. I really was. Like, work has just been a bit stressful lately. I've been a bit sort of stressed in life, a little bit anxious, and a little bit just frustrated with myself. You've probably picked it up in some episodes I've talked about. I try not to get too bogged down, but I felt like I was just, I want to say edging towards a nervous breakdown. That's way, way too harsh. But just a little bit like fed up, a bit frustrated, probably more on myself and just things that I wasn't doing. So I was kind of looking forward to this break to sort of go, you know what, like it's a good time to sort of just kind of re-engage, go out with a bit of a bang, whatever it was, but just really sort of be present in my life and just, you know, have a fucking good time with my family and sort of just be right there with them. So that's kind of exactly what I did. But going back, I mentioned on the last episode that I had a costume party. It was Halloween. It was my brother's 30th. Happy birthday to my brother publicly. Didn't get to do it on last week's podcast, but happy birthday. He's 30. Love you, little brother. And he had a cool party. It was fun. Everyone got dressed up. He's got some rowdy mates, some good mates, and very good to see a lot of old faces that I hadn't seen in ages. That's always fun. It's always interesting seeing people that, you know, like your little brother's friends, but you remember them being really, really little, and they probably remember you being really quite young. And now I'm 32. I've got a kid. They're like all married, got houses. Some of them are probably fucking more financially better off than I am, but doesn't matter. It's not all about money. A little bit of it is though, but not all of it. But they're growing up fast, right? And I walked in, I'm like, fuck, these people are aging. You know what I mean? They're fully fledged adults now. Some of them carry on like absolute children, and it's funny to watch at a party when some of these young dudes are getting real steamed up. I really appreciated that. But it was just good. It was a great party. Got dressed up as Leatherface. I will say I was a bit gutted. I didn't try and look for the apparatus too much. I was meant to get a chainsaw. I got a fucking stupid, what do you call it, meat cleaver. I'm sure that Leatherface used a meat cleaver to chop the bodies up, but he's historically known for the chainsaw. So I've got to be honest, I was a little bit dirty in myself that I didn't try harder with that sort of tool apparatus. Turns out all I needed to do was go to a Kmart, and I could have picked one up for $12. Found one at the coast the other week, so I was equally just like, didn't really try that hard. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Beck picked me up a $3 meat cleaver from Spotlight, kind of saved the day. Just walked in. I was like, look, this is my aftermath. I've left the chainsaw at home. Scared. I don't want to scare the kids at the party, but I will have a fucking glow-in-the-dark meat cleaver. That's a bit more my scene for tonight. But it was a great party. They worked really hard on having some nice food, some hors d'oeuvres and nibblies. I love that. I'm a big sucker for the Cabanossi at a party. I love a Cabanossi. I'm just that guy that like is sort of lurking around the nibblies, you know, talking to people, mingling, kind of just getting a little bit closer to the nibblies and just grabbing as much Cabanossi as I can, cabana, whatever it is. Anything that's a sausage that's chopped up into bite-sized pieces, I'm that guy at a party that's sort of fucking sneaking them like Tic Tacs. They call me the Cabanossi kid. That's what they call me back in high school. Even the Cabana kid, actually, as I grew up as an adult, as the sausage got bigger. But it was just a really good party. I will say there was a couple of fucking absolute loose units there. You know, those people that walk into the party at the start and you're going, mate, it's 6 p.m. and you're well off your guts. And you're like 30 now. I can't talk. We probably used to do that 18, 19, 20. We started to mature after that. I'm 32 now. I've got a sick kid at home. I actually had a sick kid, and we'll talk about that after the fact. You know, I got a pregnant wife at home. My mother was at home. You know, it was a whole thing. I come with my father, my dad. So it was interesting. Took my nanny and pop there. And then there's these dudes that are just geared to the eyeballs walking in at 6 p.m. just like, can't this, can't that, hugging my dad. My dad's not a hugger. It was a real scene. I was like, why are you hugging him, Dad? I'm 32 years old and I can't remember a fucking hug coming from you in my 32 years. This guy's walked in, he's called you a cunt, and you've just hugged him straight up. I don't know. It could be an Irish thing. Maybe I'll have to put him down and just go in for the kill, going for the hug. But it was interesting, you know, my pop there with the wit, just ordering these little pricks around, get me a drink, do that, get me more Cabanossi, get some for my grandson. He loves it. They call him the Cabanossi kid. But yeah, it was just an interesting party, really good. I will say, there was a little bit of a hoo-ha, bit of a fight. One of the girls came up to me at some point early, some mid in the evening. I'm not really sure. Wasn't wearing a watch, and she was like, "Hey, look, these boys, they're a bit trouble." I will say this is a whole story coming behind this, and she was like, "Oh, you need to help get them out," and I'm like, me, the guy, the 32-year-old, they call me Custard Guts, aka the Cabanossi kid. I wear glasses, you know what I mean? I'm not a tough individual. You want me to kick these boys out that look like they can definitely handle themselves and probably steamed up on the ice. That makes them like 8 times as strong as the average human. Anyway, I had that big brother thing. Like, I was like big brother mode, you know? I was like, my little brother was there and it was his party and his partner Chloe. Shout out to both of them. They love the show. Big fans of the King of the Couch. And they tried so hard. They worked, well, I didn't say tried so hard. They tried so hard to make a good party and they succeeded. So I was like, I've got to help out. That was my thing. I was like, yeah, big brother mode. I'm in here. I'm fucking dressed as Leatherface. Fuck, I don't care about these glasses. I'll take them off and headbutt you. I don't care. And that's what I did. Just walked out and said, look, you boys have got to go. I felt a bit bad at that point because I could see that one looked like a little bit more trouble and the other one wasn't too bad, you know. But I was like, fuck. I was like, I can't be too, you know, taking sides here. I don't want to get fucking my head knocked off by one of the brothers. But anyway, they went to Blue on the front lawn. It was crazy. It was one of those parties, you know, like not all, like I haven't been to a party where there's been a punch on in some time, but I'll be honest, it was kind of good to see that. Like, even though it sucked and was a bit of a dampener at that particular time, I was like, fuck, it's been a while. I haven't seen that. And I'm in Big Brother. I felt real staunch at the moment. I actually launched in and was like, stop it. Just please stop. Didn't want to hit anyone, you know, didn't want to fucking lawsuit. I was going on holidays on the Sunday morning, but I just felt really strong. I felt really good with myself at the time. Anyway, I did feel bad for one of the boys though, because he was clearly just one of those guys, you know, and I'm 32 years old. I've got a little bit of maturity. I know I come on here and speak a lot of immaturity, but there is a lot of maturity fucking zigzagged in there as well. And I kind of took pity on him in a way, because I was like, look, you're just clearly a bloke that, I think you have a problem with alcohol. You can't hold it, you know. Not saying you're an alcoholic, but there's some people, and I've met quite a few of them over my life, they just can't handle their piss. Like, that's a thing. I will say that's one of the hardest things about alcohol as a drug in society, because it's 100% legal. We all know that. Any man and his dog over the age of 18 can go in and fucking buy it. Fuck me dead. Even parents will go in and buy it for their kids, right? And this is where the problem starts. They get it before they're like fucking mentally developed. They start getting on the piss. And their brain just goes a bit mental. Add in drugs to that. It's like a fucking nasty cocktail. And their brains are just like, what are we going to do here? I might just punch someone, my own brother. And it's bad news. You know what I mean? You can't reason with the drunk person either, which makes it, you know, equally as fucking stupid and frustrating all at the same time. But I've got to be honest, I did take pity on the guy a little bit. I went out and said, look, man, it's not your fault, right? You just steamed up. You can't handle your piss. He said he listened to the King of the Couch. So if you're listening, mate, hope you got home safely. I hope you're going all right. You know, it's just a bad night. Don't fucking lose your shit over it for too long. But we all make mistakes. Jesus Christ, I remember throwing a glass at someone in a bar when I was like 25. Thinking, actually, I lied to you earlier. I said I started to clean myself up after 21, but I remember 25, 26, I was out there throwing glasses, you know, steamed up on one of them fucking drug alcohol cocktails. So it happens. I get it. You wake up, you feel like you can't, but this too shall pass. You live on. But it was sort of, you know, right now being Movember, I've shaved the mo off, did it last year, not doing it this year, but shout out to anyone that is doing Movember. And, you know, with all like depression, anxiety, suicide. It was like men kill themselves every 40 seconds. This guy's talking about suicide and stuff like that. I've had a good friend at high school that has killed himself. People everywhere in society, someone knows someone that's suicided. I know a kid who was a friend at fucking primary school that killed himself, and it was just one of these things, you know what I mean? So when someone is saying that, you don't want to take it too lightly. I know, yes, it was probably the drink talking and stuff like that, but below all that bullshit, there's an element of truth, right? So I didn't want to sort of take it just with a grain of salt. I thought, I'll help this guy. You know, he lost his phone, had to get back to the Gold Coast. I fucking let him call his girlfriend. I will say it was one of those things, you know, like, you know, a certain age. I knew he was a lot younger than me because he didn't know his partner's phone number. Like, he had to call her on Facebook. That's the kind of day and age we're living in. There's a tip for anybody that gets a chick or a boy out there and they want to spend the rest of their life with them. Learn their fucking phone numbers, because it's really kind of a dud look. Like, for romance, if you like can't remember their phone number after you've lost their phone. This is the love of my life. I've given everything. We've got joint bank accounts, married her, spent a lot of money, got kids coming, we've got dogs together, we've just bought a Kia Sportage. Do you mind calling her on Facebook? I actually don't know her number. It's a weird scenario, you know what I mean? Anyway, he was young, he was drunk, doesn't matter, I'm not going to hold it against him. But I do hope he's all right. He was clearly in a bad way when I left him, but he was getting picked up, so one of those things, you know? Anyway, that was kind of my knight in shining armor moment at the time. It was my dad was like, "What was all that about?" And I said, like, went through it, and he was like, "Oh, Jesus Christ, you know, that guy was hugging me and calling me a cunt early in the evening, you know." And I was like, "Yeah, look, you could tell he was clearly fucked from Jump Street." But he said he listens to the show. Could have just been blowing smoke up my bum. But if he does listen to the show, I appreciate your ear holes, mate. Keep listening, and I hope you take some of my wisdom, if anything, just take little bits of snippets. You can have a laugh, doesn't matter. Life, I sometimes got to take my own advice on this show, but don't take it too seriously, right? This too shall pass. That's the mantra, mate. That's the fucking motto. Anyway, it was a great party. Unfortunately, though, my little girl was sick. That was really quite devastating. She was just fever town, like just hit a fever, just straight up on a Saturday night, and it's not a good look. It's not a good thing. And I was like, fuck, you feel really bad too, because you're like, you know, like sickness comes at just like the worst times. Like when it comes, it's a bad time. But when you're going out, you're dressed up. Literally, she was dressed as a witch. I'm as Leatherface. Beck is the nun. My mother was another witch. We're ready to go. My dad's there. We're carpooling. She's just like 39-degree fever, and you're like, fuck, like it's my brother's 30th. We still got to go. So we split ways. She come later, but mate, walked back into the house at like midnight. Stunk of spew. Just she'd been sick. It was bad. Delayed getting to the coast on Sunday. Had to take her to the doctor. She had the fever. So it was like a bit of a dampener start to the holiday. But it's your daughter. You love her. You gotta fucking put her as numero uno. Anyone in your life that's sick, you know. And at the time, you've got to fucking make them feel good. Try and make them feel better. But you really do. You crumble. You crumble when you see your kid sick, and it's just one of those things. You just like you want to almost take it on for them, and you want to help. You want to help them, but you feel sort of helpless. So we took them to the doctors. They were not too bad. Did all the rigmarole. You know, take Hydrolite, keep plenty of fluid. That's the thing with like fevers and fucking vomiting and shit. There's not much that you can do. Anyway, we get down to the coast finally at like 4:00 on a Sunday afternoon. Good to get away. I was stoked, but straight up, first thing I noticed was. My daughter was sick, which was a bit of a bummer. The weather was fucking absolute pish. Like it was disgusting. Like I'm down at the Gold Coast. The irony was that I was meant to be in Melbourne. We were all meant to be in Melbourne. We had a mate's wedding. It got shit canned because of COVID, so it's been postponed to next year. So we'll probably go down there at some point next year. But that's like Melbourne are just fucking known for 4 seasons in one day. Like that's their thing. Like that's their stone cold stunner. And they just had beautiful weather. It's like 30 degrees most of the week. We had just fucking bullshit weather. We got awesome pools. We can't go in because it's fucking freezing. We're down to the beach. It's windy as shit. Dip my toe in. Fuck this. Too cold. And it was just one of those things, you know. But what can you do? You can't predict the weather. Don't let the weather get you down. You just fucking crack a bottle of wine and enjoy your fucking life, okay? That's exactly what I did. But she was sick again on the Sunday. I was like, fuck, all right, what do we do here? Monday, she was all right. You know, not too bad. Monday evening, I've been cracking into my natural wine. Had a little bit on Sunday night. Quick wine review. Rosé natural wine. The one bottle I had, fucking mint, 10 out of 10. Thanks, Built to Spill. The Monday night, we did a whole bunch of shit on Monday. I can't really remember. It was a bit of a chill. Well, it wasn't. Doesn't matter. I can't remember. It was a week ago. Give me a break. I've had a lot of bottles of wine. I've had a lot of bottles of wine over the last week, and I loved it. I'm excited to think about it. Actually, get me wet thinking about it. Anyway. Monday night, did the thing, went out for dinner. She was all right, all good. I had another bottle of wine, Pet Nat. Never had a Pet Nat before. Delicious. The mother Pet Nat from Built to Spill. Go and check it out. It was like mid-$20. I don't know, $25 a bottle, something like that. I was feeling a bit fucking ballsy. I was on holidays, going out with a fucking bang. I will say Pet Nat, it was interesting. It was bubbly like a champagne. It was sort of fruity and dry like a rosé in a way. But there was this like underlying sort of, it's going to sound bad when I say this, but like a fruit juice sort of thing. It had like a cherry plum sort of color. It was fucking delicious. I loved it. I loved everything about it. And that was me Monday night. I've pretty much drunk most of the bottle. We'd say 90% of the bottle. You know, I've left the dregs. And gone to bed, fallen asleep, passed out at 11 p.m. on a Monday evening. I've woke up at 2 a.m. Tuesday morning, 3 hours later. I've had 3 hours shut-eye, not the REM sleep, just the drunk sleep. Arabella's been sick, quite violently ill, no good for anybody. I've come in, all right, we're stripping the sheets, we're doing this. That's another shitty thing about being away on holidays. You don't know where things are. You don't have like multiple sets of sheets and bullshit and towels. You're doing this, you're doing that. Fucking band-aidy solution here. Oh my God, what do we do? Take those clothes off. She's hot as fucking hell. It's 2 a.m., 2:15 a.m. patting her on the back. Next minute, waterfall, Niagara Falls of just pure vomit down my back. As a dad, though, it feels gross, but as a dad, you don't care. It's just one of those things. You just go, you know what? I love it. I don't mind. I'm going to get in the shower. I'm not going to piss and moan about this. Just straight in the Ruka pants. Got them off. There was definitely spew down my bum crack. And it's just one of those things. You just you get in, get it done. And it was like 2:30. We're going Gold Coast Hospital. That's where we got to go. Don't want her to be sick anymore. The doctors will help out. I'm halfway down. If the QPS are listening, I didn't realize, you know what I mean? You know, when you have alcohol, you fall asleep, you wake up, you just assume that you're sober. It's a thing. I'm halfway down the Gold Coast Highway. You know, I'm thinking, fuck, I only finished that bottle 3 hours ago. And I'm like, oh, Arabella's spewing in the back. Beck's got the bucket. I'm like, well, they can't drive, you know what I mean? I'm not going to blurt it out now. It's a highly erratic sort of situation. I've just played it cool, eyes on the road. Frankly, I felt so in the zone. It was like, doesn't matter, mate. You had that, doesn't matter. You're dad now. Dad mode, get it done. Like a fucking superhero. That's what I did. Straight in, dropped him at the door. Classic chivalrous move. Parked up. Shout out Gold Coast Hospital. Straight into the kids thing. Did the thing. Straight into the bed. Doc was in there. Nurse was in there. So good. Fluid tests. But it's sort of scary, right? It is a scary thing because you're in there with your little daughter, and I'm a little bit of a hypochondriac, I will say that, but you're going, fuck, is it this? Is it that? I hope it's not anything bad, you know, you're trying to be positive. Is it just a bug? Is it, you know, it's 2:30 in there, you're doing the fluid test. 3:30, 4 a.m. It could be this, could be that. Could be UTI. You know what I mean? Got to do a pee sample. So she's having the zuba dubas, noting down every time she has liquid, anytime she has a bit of food, note it down, right? She's in the bed, you know. Next thing, picture this. Try and get a pee sample from a 2.5-year-old at 4 a.m., 4:30 in the morning. That doesn't want you to take a pee sample. She's got Curious George on the phone like this. You've kind of got this little vial of pee catcher, and you're just going, I've got to catch some pee. You don't want to pee. I'm pretty confident this is a UTI because you don't want to pee, right? Anyone that doesn't know what a UTI is, it stands for urinary tract infection. It stings. I don't know for a fact if I've had one or not, but there's been a few times where I have done a little pee sting. This is gross. You can fast forward through this if you don't like it. But it's life, and I talk life, so get real and grow up and listen to my story. But we're in there, and it's just all right, you've got to pee, Arabella. You've got to pee. You know what I mean? Got to pee. First bit, Beck's on the pee. She's on the pee catcher. I'm over there just doing the thing, trying to talk her into it. Little dribble. Nothing. You can't catch that. You know what I mean? It's like spitting and getting on your chin. You know, it's disgusting. You can't do anything with it. It's just, it happens, right? Okay, cool. We've missed that. We've fucked up. We're trying to pump the water in there. She's sitting there sipping it, you know, sipping it. Come on, get some gulps in, you know, get some gulps happening. I've fucking peed 2 times in there. It's a bit aircon-y. It's a bit cold. I've got sore hamstrings. Don't know why, but I had sore hamstrings. I'm talking to her. I'm trying to big game, talk her up. Just come on, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Next thing, pee. Fuck this. Dad's on. Cup. Got half of it. I've got 3 mils of pee in this thing. It was a good effort. It was one hand, one bounce. It wasn't a pure catch, but it was a fucking good effort. So straight to the lab, walked out. Where's this nurse? You know what I mean? Hospitals are fun like that. They're such big places. You're she going for a nap, like they do in ER and stuff like that. Grey's Anatomy. You know, where is she? She get more Zuba Dubas? I don't know. Where's the doc? He's out here. You know, he was a really nice guy. His name was Adam, Dr. Adam. Don't know his last name. He was really nice. I've walked out and said, hey man, look, we've got the pee sample. What do we do? Is this enough pee, you know? And he's gone, yeah, straight to the lab. I would have gone to the lab if I knew where it was. I was interested to see the lab. But anyway, they took the trolley up there, got it there. Time passes. So 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m. Fuck me dead. It's 6 a.m. Next thing, comes back. Turns out UTI, but they couldn't do all the tests and stuff like that. We'd like to monitor again, tell us absolutely everything. She's nodded off at this point. I'm fucking lying on the floor, on the tiles, you know, cold as shit, trying to meditate, head's throbbing, because I've remembered that I've had a bottle of pet nap before I came to the hospital and not a lot of water. Beck's there, you know, because she's pregnant. I'm trying to give her the comfy spots, and so she's fallen asleep in the bed. Then she got off because she was awake. Then I fell asleep in the bed. It was pissy little bed, you know, not one of them good hospital beds, one of them crappy ones. And anyway, they put us in the short stay for a bit. Had to get her on the medication. She's done. She doesn't want any Panadol. She doesn't want any medication at this point. So that's a bit of a battle there too. 7 a.m. I'm fucking tired of shit. The eyes are falling out of my head. Beck's eyes are falling out of her head. Arabella's over it. Get some antibiotics in. Get the stuff in. We've checked out. We're home by 8 a.m. Shout out Gold Coast Hospital. That was, look, I don't want to have to do that shit again, but it was like, it was a good experience in the way that, like, they were really good. They helped us through it, held our hand, did all that stuff. And it was just really good. Like, I was really, really stoked with them and how they helped us out, because it's a nerve-wracking thing having your kid in a hospital. So, fucking Wednesday was a write-off, an absolute write-off. Got, like, I think I did a little workout on Wednesday. Maybe no, that was the day before. Did nothing. Had a couple of drinks. I was cooked. It was like a holiday from myself Wednesday night. Like, we didn't go out for dinner or anything like that. It was one of the only times we didn't go out for food. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to bed early. I've got this new program from Nick, which I'll talk about later in the show. And there's like a meditative move in there on this foam roll. I was like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to chuck some tunes in. I'm going to do that. I'm going to fucking meditate. I'm going to go to bed and not listen to any music. Mate, I was cooked. Slept for like 9 hours. Like, it was actually really good. And you know what? Like, sleep is so important. Just correcting myself. Sleep is so important. I felt fucking actually rejuvenated the next day. I was like, it's so important. It was so boring going to bed. And that's where I've got to change. But I felt amazing the next day. We're on. All good. The weather's coming good. Not the greatest, but it's coming good. A little bit cold. But you know what? I forgot my jeans. And it was a fucking great excuse to go and get some new pants, some new black sort of slacks. Cool black pants. I was full manifesting it, hey. Been watching a lot of Animal Kingdom. I love their style in it. I was like, I've got the cool jeans. I look sick in the jeans, but I forgot the jeans. I'm not buying another pair of jeans. I'm black pants. I've got a particular look. I'm across at Pac Fair. I've got the black pants. Unreal. Got the new LA cap. Got an awesome blue shirt. Got a pair of fucking cherry plum suede Adidas Gazelles. Felt like $1 million. Got a couple new shirts from Zara. It just felt good. Retail therapy is real, people. It's real therapy. You feel good after it, right? Even for guys that don't really like clothes, go and spend some money on something that you really want. Retail therapy is good. I love it. I highly recommend it as a form of actual therapy. Some people might gloss over it and go, that's just surface deep. Well, sometimes I need surface deep. I need a fucking cool Hawaiian shirt, an LA cap, suede Gazelles, black pants. I couldn't wait. I was chuffed to bits, actually, to go out for dinner on Wednesday night, because I want to fucking wear these pants, you know what I mean? I looked mint. Honestly, I looked like I was part of the Cody family from Animal Kingdom. I was ready to rob some shit. I was ready to do a bank robbery. I wanted to just fucking do a heist or something. I felt so good, and I was like, I'm going to go and surfing after this. But anyway, so we shopped, had some great dinners. There was some great Italian that we had over the week. Great Japanese place at Burleigh. Some great breakfast. Shout out Palm Springs. Go and check that out in Burleigh. Paddock Bakery, something like that. The Paddock, anyway, in fucking Burleigh. Went there twice. Unreal. Tart was unreal. Saw Dane Gagai there from the Rabbitohs, now the Newcastle Knights. Queensland fame. Seriously, so good. Went and had Japanese at a place called Oi Izayaka. I think it. Sorry for my Japanese fans if I fuck that, but it was real good Japanese. And I'm forgetting somewhere. We hit the casino. We hit the Cass Garden Bistro and Bar. Probably the best I feel that I've ever had. I don't normally order steak that much. $47. Thanks for coming. My uncle and auntie were down there for their 32nd wedding anniversary. Shout out them. Happy anniversary. My uncle's there. He's in a good mood. We have 5 schooners each. That's the only way you should eat I feel it. Washing it down with like 3 liters of beer. People always talking about red wine and stuff like that. You can do that if you want to be that guy. But when I'm sitting there, I want to eat like a Viking, all right? Dead animal, a lot of beer, woman over my shoulder, go to bed, make love, and just, that's my life. That's all I wanted to do that night. And I looked fucking good. I had the Gazelles on, I had the black pants on, and I had a nice white button up. No, actually, a new one. Oh my God, I felt so good. It was so good. I'm talking about myself here. I'm just blowing smoke on my bum here. Seriously. So good. But yeah, it was a great week in the end. Sometimes with holidays, they're very funny, like you can't wait to get away from them, right? And then, get away from work, unless you love your job, right? But I'm not going to pretend I'm one of those guys that love my job all the time. I need a break. I need to get fucking my mental health in check. And I think I'm right up there with like 98% of the nation. I think there's like 2% of people that love their job and never want to actually fucking leave it. But for the most part, people love getting away, right? And want to have a bit of a fucking downtime with their family. But it takes you like a couple of days to really fucking chill out. Now, it was fitting that Arabella was sick. We had time. We had time to chill out, so that was okay. Right? We had time to sort of day drink around baby sickness. And we had time to get a pack fair, the casino, heaps of different places. It was a good week, right? And then you get so into it, you're like, okay, like this hasn't worked out as what I thought. The weather was a bit shitty, the hotel room's a bit pokey. But it's great, you know what I mean? I'm here with Beck, I love her. I'm here with Arabella, I love her. I'm here with my mum, I love her. It was a good time, I've got fucking cider coming out my ears, I've got beers coming out my ears, I've got wine coming out my ears. My auntie and uncle are down here, I love them. Go to the casino, we have some fucking awesome food, I've got awesome clothes. There was fucking rainbow lorikeets. I'm scared of birds. Fuck that, face to fear. You got your daughter there, you got to fucking man up, right? She's been in hospital, you got to man up for her. Walked out there. I've crushed crackers. I'm feeding rainbow lorikeets. They landed on my hand, man. It was mental. It was a scene. I'm like, I'm the fucking bird whisperer, right? By the end of the week, I just didn't want to go. I was like, you're a little bit excited to get home and things like that, but I was like, no, I've just got comfy now. A week is never long enough. 2 weeks is good, I will say. And it was like, right, like, I'm here now. We come home. I got to see my nan and pop. Love them dearly. Had a beer with two beers with my pop. It was just great to be back. I'm rejuvenated. Frankly, I didn't want to get off the fucking wheel of alcoholism. I just wanted to keep going. Just wanted to keep the party raging on. As don't ever button up your fucking Hawaiian shirt. Just keep cracking it. I've come home on Saturday night. I'm like, fuck, that was a good holiday. You know what I mean? Really enjoyed it. I've gone up, got a bottle of Sauv Blanc because I wanted to celebrate being at home because I'm that sort of guy. I wear Hawaiian shirts on a Monday fucking night. I'm that sort of guy, right? I don't want to get off the fucking ride. And, Sunday, UFC 268. I won't talk about that tonight. I'm actually going to fucking treat the UFC fans and the people that don't like UFC. I'm going to do a separate UFC 268 breakdown tomorrow night. So there'll be this show coming tomorrow or tonight if you're really fucking rabid and get the ding while you're in bed. And I know there's people out there that listen to it in bed and I fucking really like that. Then I'm going to do a UFC 268 breakdown tomorrow night. And then get that up for you. So you can listen to that in bed too. If not, listen to it Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. Or if I go on another week, listen to it when I'm on the week away. Because I know you guys do that. I saw the numbers. I see everything. I see the stats. What I'm getting at here is it was really, really great to go away with my family. I was extremely grateful that I had money in the bank to be able to do that, albeit that I'll probably have to work quite hard to get a lot of that money back over the next couple of months before Christmas. I was really, really grateful. I was really stoked, a little bit upset that my daughter was sick, but these things happen. That's life, right? Don't beat yourself up. We got her well, thank you to Western medication, sorting out that UTI. I know you get a bad rap sometimes. I know I fucking dragged my thoughts on vaccinations and things through the mud, you know what I mean? I'm turning on the vaccination thing. I think it's time to get back to normal, right? But Western medicine definitely serves a purpose. You got a UTI, you want to stop that stinging, you want to stop that fever, let's fucking go. Shout out Panadol. You help for the fever too. But just incredibly grateful I was able to get away for a week. I really was. By the time I got home, I was feeling it, and I came and sat at my desk this morning, and that's why I was truly like, not that I hate my job, I was just bummed that like that week was over, And I just was like, when am I going to see my mum again? When am I going to see my family again? And when are we going to spend some time together again, And that was it. But I've got other stuff to do. I've got a mountain of healthy shit and activities to get through. I've got money to stack. We got paper to stack. We got fucking podcast, fucking listeners, audiences to grow, fucking YouTube videos to cut up, post, get more subscribers. Might even crack double digits this week on my subscribers. I don't know. But I'm sitting here talking to you, 10:01 p.m. on a Monday night, and I'm feeling fucking good, frankly. You cheered me up. If I had any sadness in me whatsoever, which there was not much because I was feeling good coming onto the show, you've just fucking cemented it in with just really strong happiness. Piles of happiness. God, I'm absolutely foaming at the mouth here. I'm actually G'd up. This is episode 117. This is KTC, King of the Couch. This is my life. I'm the king. It's a state of mind. I got a couple new song recommendations for you. New albums, actually. I've been fucking on the new Slipknot song, the Chapeltown Rag. I fucking love it. I love it. Very erratic. Reminds me of equal parts new school Slipknot to equal parts old school Slipknot. Like you can hear that fucking percussion section coming through. It really reminded me of the old stuff. And it was erratic as fuck. My cousin doesn't like it because he's like, you can't really bang your head to it. I like it because you can bang your head just all sort of weird ways and have to stop and different time signatures and stuff. But I fucking love it. I listened to it like 3 times in a row just out last night. I was like, oh my God, nearly at 5 minutes. I'm into this shit. Another album, Mastodon's Hushed and Grim. I haven't even fully got through it yet. It's like an hour and a half album. I will say I'm not really, like, on here that my perfect album is like 10 songs. 10 songs, right? I'm not going into length, but this is like 15 tracks. It's like an hour and a half. So it's like a double album, really. It's like Crack the Sky Part 2, but like doubly as long. But I love it. It took me a couple of listens to get through some, but there's so much riffage going on. There's so much deep lyrics going on. The drumming is next level. It's unreal. I'm going to start actually getting album reviews done for you guys because I get so fucking G'd up listening to music and talking to it and trying to pay it forward, you know? But if you're into guitars, like fucking all over the shop and just riffing hard, you're into unreal drums and frankly lyrics that are really fucking crazy and I think inspiring. Honestly, I love it. But Mastodon's Hushed and Grim, it honestly will go down as one of the fucking metal albums of the year. You can guarantee that. You can put your freaking bottom dollar on that one. And the other one I love, probably equally erratic, is Every Time I Die's Radical. And that's not just a cute name. The album is fucking radical. I love it. I really do love it. There was Post Boredom was one of the singles on it, and I think is it a Colossal Wreck was another single on it, and I loved them when they came out. And I was like, something about Every Time I Die. When they first came out, I wasn't really into them. A friend from way back, his name was Tim Hortz, Nat Hortz. She's an old lover. Wow, from when we were like 15. Don't get weird about that. Nah, I know you listen, but an old friend, and I knew that was her older brother. But we jammed once. He saw right through. I couldn't really play, but he was in a band, so he was like, "This cunt's an idiot." But he's a nice kid and he loves good music, so I'm gonna put him on a band called Every Time I Die, and it was him that got me into him. And yeah, ever since then I've just been like fucking crushing Every Time I Die. But unreal. So those are my recommendations this week. I will say the late entry I heard. I think they're a Sunny Coast band, Local Heroes. They're called Gutter Fire. Go and check out their album. It's on Spotify. Their debut's come out. They're playing Saturday night at 11 Dive Bar. If you're a Sunny Coast local, go and check them out. It's literally like a fucking $10 or $15 ticket. It's crazy. I might go up. So if you want to come meet me there, I'll sign something for you, drink your schooner with you, and bang our fucking heads to some Gutter Fire. But yeah, on that, catching up with my cousin Friday night. That will be the test audio for the new music show that's coming. Working title, not 100% set yet, but it's going to just be a show purely dedicated to music. Metal, rock, punk, everything in between. We'll talk about a lot of different stuff. Probably there's fucking, we'll probably bag the shit out of things like Travis Scott and stuff like that, and Astroworld and the dumb fucking festivals like that, which I won't talk about it tonight. We might talk about it together, but Jesus Christ, you haven't seen that news? Horrible, people crushed to death. How does that happen? How does that happen in this day and age? It's fucking ridiculous. I don't want to talk about that one. That's a whole nother segment, and frankly, I've got too much to talk about tonight. So that's my music breakdown. So we'll have a music show very, very soon. I'd say next 2 to 3 weeks, anticipate a fucking KOTC musical episode. We'll get into the health stuff soon, then we'll fucking wrap it up. I've got another two things I wanted to let you know. Actually, some doco recommendations here I'm looking at. Echo in the Canyon. It was sick. Go and check it out. Basically, it was Jacob Dylan, aka Bob Dylan's son. You can really see it in his face. I was like, this guy looks like Bob Dylan. And then I put 2 and 2 together. Wallflowers, One Headlight, Jacob Dylan, that guy. Basically, in Laurel Canyon in LA in the 60s, it was kind of like it was a buzzing little hub of just music. And there was some seriously cool music that came out at that time. It was like the Byrds, like the Beach Boys, the Mamas and the Papas, like obviously the Beatles and stuff were around at that time too, the Rolling Stones. But they were all coming and going. There's a lot of British bands, there was a lot of American bands, Buffalo Springfield, Neil Young and the likes like that. It was really just cool. And then they do a soundtrack basically playing all these old songs, and you can go and listen to it. It's music. It's great. It's a good time. But I really liked it, and there was some good female singers in it actually that I'd never sort of really taken the time to listen to, like Regina Spektor, Fiona Apple, and another lady. I think her name was Jade Castrinos. Apologies if I fucked up her last name, but I found out she was in Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros. Don't really know much about them, but they got that song Home, I think. Holy God. I was just like, I had a mad crush within like 1.5 seconds of seeing this girl and hearing her voice. I was just like, I think Beck had a crush too. I'm looking across at her on the couch, like, are you picking this up? Are you picking this vibe up? So I was really vibing on this chick. She was gorgeous, and her voice was gorgeous, like angelic. So go and check out Echo in the Canyon if you're a music fan. The other one was also a music documentary. I was fucking into this one. Count Me In. It was a drumming one. There was, I can't think of the guy's name, but he's in Jane's Addiction and Porno for Pyro, Steven something. Apologies. And there was like Taylor Hawkins, Chad Smith. There was quite a few people in this one as well, and it was really cool. Quite a lot of female drummers in there. Samantha Maloney. I can't think of the girl's name, but she's the drummer. Maybe even related to Santana. Her last name was Santana. She's in Lenny Kravitz's band. That was just really cool. Like, I really geek out on that sort of shit. So if you're into music, highly recommend going to check out Count Me In, which is just about drumming, but more than just about drumming, if you know what I mean, and Echo in the Canyon. Equally as good. Another bit of great news. I wanted to share this. It's been all over the news, and it is great news, and I just wanted to pay it forward. And it hit me different as a dad. Cleo Smith, the little 4-year-old girl that went missing in WA and then was found like sort of 2.5 weeks later, was not that just an amazing story? I mean, I really I could empathize with the parents, you know what I mean, as a father now. I've talked about this a few times, but like, as a father with kids, when you see things that involve kids, and I'm a dog owner too, even things that involve animals, like, but especially your kids, like, you're in there, you're invested, you get the sickness in your guts. You know, movies hit you different, right? That, like, to do with that, Taken, Prisoners, all that stuff hit you well different now. This sort of shit, when I saw this little girl going missing, I was just like, fuck, what would you do? Like, I don't even know how I would react. What would you do? How do you go to bed at night? How do you fucking not try and drink yourself to death? And you want to find her and you want to go after the fucking abductor. I don't know. And the girl's found like 2.5 weeks later, albeit looks like she's okay. She's all good. It was like a 36-year-old dude. Fuck knows what's wrong with him, if he's got fucking mental issues or anything like that. But the guy took a kid and he was holding him ransom. That's fucked up and sick in the head in my book. So if it was... I don't want to talk about that. It's not about that. We will talk about that another time, potentially. It's not about fucking bagging someone out. I was just really, really stoked that this little girl was found, and she... Like, I'm not really like that much of an emotional person, but I saw the footage of the bringing the girl out of the house, little Cleo, the cops, you know, shout out the cops and everyone involved did a great job. That was amazing to see. Like, I don't even know the stats on what it would be like trying to find someone that's been abducted or kidnapped and actually getting them back. I'd imagine that it's a very, very slim margin of actually getting those people back after a certain amount of time. But man, it just blew my mind, and I was just so stoked for the parents, so stoked for this little girl, because dead set, it was just racing with all the fucked up possibilities. I know it sounds fucked up to say, but it just really was. Like, how could your mind not go like that, you know? So I was so stoked when I saw that, and I didn't think it was going to be a thing that I would get to see, and I was so fucking I was really grateful that was the outcome for everybody involved. So yeah, whoa, fuck, heated, but nevertheless, on with the show, right? So I mentioned earlier in the show that I've got a little bit of a health thing happening, going. I've done a few sessions. Nick Bellringer, shout out Nick, he's a top bloke. He was on the podcast a few podcasts ago. Go and check it out if you haven't already. But it was a pretty popular one, and he does the Paul Chek system, and he's got his own spin to it, of course. But I've been following Paul Chek for some time now. I was really, really interested in his work and everything that's sort of the whole holistic approach. For me, a little bit of a background, obviously, you know me, but I've done like fitness stuff before, so I've gone to the gym and stuff like that. That was fine. I've never really been great with nutrition and stuff, and that's been always a bit of an issue. I definitely drink too much. There's no two ways about that. I like having a drink, but I overdo it, right? If it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing. That was one of my old mottos. Even a current motto, I'm not sure, but I have trouble sleeping. Not sleeping, but going to bed. There's that whole FOMO thing. You know, I'm probably not living my life's like passions, dreams, and all that sort of stuff. My highest fucking value. I love coming on here. I love to get paid for doing this. You know what I mean? Like, let's be honest, I do it for fun. I do it because I love it. But you know, just talking to a camera, I need to get paid, right? I have to fucking work. So there was a whole lot of stuff, right? And it was that whole idea of like paying for someone, that whole accountability. You're putting money out of your wallet. I have a big. It took me so long to sort of do that, and frankly, it was one of those things because like I have no issues about spending money on bottles of wine and stuff like that. If Beck comes to me and says, "Hey, look, I want to do this. Like it's $60, it's $50, it's $500, whatever it is," I'm like, "Yeah, sure, babe. Like do it. Like even if we don't really have the money, I go, yeah, do it. Like it's gonna bring you happiness or something to better your life." Let's do it. You know, you don't give a fuck. But if it's like something to help you, like your inwards and outwards and everything about you, I'm like, oh, geez, it's a bit steep. I don't know, not really. And I'll probably think about that and go no, and then I'll go to the bottle shop and buy another fucking $10 or $15 bottle of wine. Going, it's $10 or $15. It's gonna do me some damage. And it's ultimately why I was contemplating spending quite a bit more money to better myself. So it's that whole thing of like, you're spending money to better yourself and you're going, I don't know if I can do it. It honestly is one of the reasons I quit going to the gym. Like I love going to the gym and stuff like that, but sort of getting a bit, one was the timing thing, but more so because of the money. I was like, well, it's like 35 a week, like I don't go every fucking night. Like fuck it, cut it off. You know what I mean? But you keep Netflix on, so it's one of those interesting kind of train of thought. So anyway, back and forth with Nick for ages, right? He was busy, I was busy, couldn't make it, bought a new car, had to cancel, he had to cancel on me once. We finally fucking got there, and it was just hugely beneficial for me, just straight off the bat. It was a 2-hour session to start. I'm not going to give everything he does away, but go and check out Paul Check or the Check System, or go and check out Nick or any of those guys that follow the Check principles. They've all got their own little spin on it too, but it all comes back to the same principles, and it's nothing crazy, right? It's just things that make sense. It's holistic coaching, right? So it looks at like physical, it looks at emotional, it looks at mental, it looks at spiritual. That was a big thing. I've never done movement stuff and had someone stand there and talk to me about manifestation, visualization, and fucking doing like breath work with me. I've talked about breath work on here heaps, and I frankly, it's a hugely beneficial thing, and I'm just really dipping my toes in at this point. And he's there like helping me fucking do the breath work, manifest and visualize while I'm fucking doing a physical thing. It blew my mind, frankly. I felt just enlightened after that one particular thing. But if you go to his Instagram, I'll probably share, I'm sort of documenting this journey so I can share it along the way, and maybe, who knows, I might put a clip together and do it on YouTube or something like that. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but it was just mental, like he took all these photos of like my spine a bit sort of skew-if and did all these measurements and stuff, all the different fucking witchcraft he performed. I mean, not sure what it was, but it was great, He was doing different things that I'd never done before, and I was really fucking, that's why I was going, this is what I'm here for. This is why I'm spending the money, to better myself inside and out. That's the thing I sort of have been realizing for a long time, and I know I'm always quite jovial and talking, but I can be very serious as well, that it's all well and good working on the physical, getting abs and the muscles and stuff like that. But I've always probably had a problem with the internal stuff, I've never had abs, so I'm not going to say I've had abs either. But I've never had the internal emotional thing. I'm a bit of a yo-yo, you know what I mean? I'm a sing when I'm a winning kind of guy, and then I could be fucking crying the next day sort of thing after I've had a loss or something like that. But just one of those things, I thought, I've got to make some changes. I've got to drink less. I still have a drink, don't get me wrong. I'd love to start my own beer company off the back of the King of the Couch. There's so many goals with that. But it's about like moderation. I really struggle with moderation, after just being on the piss all last week. The first thing I thought about today was, wouldn't mind having a beer on the potty, but no, I've got to hit the old salty water. So yeah, following some things that he set out for me, and then some things that I'm trying to push myself. I won't go through it, but there's some questionnaires that I had to fill out. Pretty interesting stuff. I'm going to go through it. Paul checks sort of principles. He has Dr. Happiness, Dr. Quiet, Dr. Diet, and Dr. Movement. Dr. Quiet was pretty good. My stats for that were pretty good. And this, I won't give it away, but there's a whole bunch of questionnaires. You've got to answer a lot of different things, fill in a lot of different stuff, right? And I've tried to be as open and honest as I could. And I was as open as honest as I could. But my happiness, my diet, my movement's all in the red. So when it's in the red, it's no good, baby. So that's something that I gotta fix. And that was really one of those things. Not like I was like, oh my God, I'm panicked, I'm worried here. But I was like, that's alarming. I got a kid. I got Beck, my partner, wife to be eventually, and I got another kid on the way. I don't have the greatest finances in the world. I don't have the greatest body in the world. I got the greatest podcast. But everything else is a little bit not where it should be. So I saw that and thought, right, I've got to do some stuff. I've got to fucking all day, just gunning it with the diet. You know what I mean? Really trying hard to get my water in. I'll go through it. So 2 to 3 liters of water a day, right? With a bit of sea salt in there. The sea salt, I will say, I pulled it up. I had to look at it. He told me, but I sort of half forgot. But it's good for hydration. It absorbs the water into the body more, which was quite interesting, I thought. Reduces fluid retention. It's high in minerals and things like that. Electrolytes, all the good things, right? A lot of the time I get crampy, you get muscle spasms and things like that. The salt water helps. Nourishes your adrenal glands for the coffee drinkers out there. Just really interesting. And just little basic things like that. I'm like, as long as you don't overdo it with the salt, because I will say it does have a small to large laxative effect if you overdo it with the salt. Plus your water tastes like shit. I like salt, but I like it on food, not in my water. But I just, a little bit in every bottle. This is like a 750. You're just like a, that's it. But I've been having, this is probably like my 6th or 7th one of these today, right? I'm going to go down and scull like another one before I go to bed, no doubt, because I'm fucking parched. But yeah, 2 to 3 liters of water a day. Not crazy, but still a challenge, right? The exercises I've got, basically there's like these corrective stretches, there's these zone exercises, and there's these mobilizations. So they're kind of like basic stuff, but challenging in quite a lot of parts. But again, it's just about setting the 10, 15, 20, half an hour, whatever you need to get it done, right? In the way that you need to get it done. I won't fucking give away the exercises. Go and fucking pay your money and go and see Nick or someone that does the study, the check. I won't give away that shit. But really interesting, right? He give me some diet stuff based on all the information I've given him. He split up, protein, fats, carbs, 45%, 20%, 35%. I've never macroed, never done anything like that. It's not about that, but it's really just bringing to my attention. Okay, well, this is where you need your meat. This is where you need your veggies. This is where you need your, your avo, your butter, your ghee, your omega-3, all this sort of shit. And I sound like I have no fucking idea because I don't have any idea. I just fucking use the old KISS fucking method. Keep it simple, stupid, right? Basic shit. Meat and 3 veg. I've talked about that fucking quite numerous times. But so good nutritious food. Just trying to hit those things that he's put out for me are based around what I need for my body type. Today I had breakfast, 3 eggs, maybe a quarter of avocado. I frankly didn't have much avocado, but I had as much as I could possibly scrape out of the bastard. Some sauerkraut, good chunk of that. It's good for the guts. And I bought some sardines. Smashed 2 sardines on there. And I don't really eat sardines that much, so I didn't want to fucking just pile them on. I didn't care. It was good. I didn't mind. Because in my mindset, it was like, eat this because it's good for you. Taste aside, doesn't matter. But frankly, it tastes good. I'm a bit weird with some taste. I like the sauerkraut. I actually didn't mind the sardines. Fucking love eggs and avocado. Who doesn't like that? You're a freak if you don't. Moved on to lunch. I did a massive fucking stew last night. Got the low carb white potatoes. Don't ask me how they make a potato lower carb, but they do, and you can buy it. So I did the low carb potatoes, sweet potato, the onion, the mushroom, the celery, heaps of beef in there, the beef stock, just a bit of salt, bit of pepper, bit of bay leaf action. Unreal, because I don't want to be fucking around all week cooking. I've got stuff to do. So that's a big one for me, right? Even fucking winners try to get that next step. I'm trying to get a bit more organic, a bit more healthy, thinking about my bodies in other ways. I didn't microwave the thing in the plastic. I took it out, put it in ceramic, microwaved it. The next step is how do I get beyond the microwave, right? I'm pretty busy in the day with work and stuff, and I don't always have a chance to sit there and cook fresh food, but that's the next step. But baby steps, right? Just little baby steps. So that was cool. Dinner tonight, porterhouse steak, veggies, a salad on the side, tomato, carrot, feta, and then Beck had made some roast pumpkin and roast sweet potato last night with a bit of turmeric and all that sort of shit on it. Just had them cold on the side, a little bit of mustard. Unreal. That is legitimately all I've eaten today. No shit food, quite a lot of water. I had 2 coffees this morning, and it was great. Like, I actually feel like I'm fucking buzzing here right now. I feel good, right? I had a good night's sleep last night. That's the next one. Trying to get 7 to 8 hours of good quality sleep a day. That has always been a challenge for me, sleep. Again, not sleeping, going to bed. It's that FOMO. There's something about it. I have a hard time. The mind races. I'm always putting my headphones in to sort of kill the voices, if you will, so I can just hear the metal or the whatever I'm listening to just pump me to sleep. I've done it 3 times in the last week. I've gone to bed, no headphones, right? And just really tried to get in the zone. I do my mobilizations, which again, just the foam roller, kind of one along this way and then one along that way over like a 20-minute, half an hour period. I've tried to meditate in that time. I'm doing the deep breathing, the breath work, the old diaphragmatic breathing. We've talked about that before. It's fucking grouse. and just try to like visualize what I want. And right now, just I'll give you an idea of what I've been doing. It's just like, what's my future house look like? Just last 2 nights, just like, okay, that's my future house looks like. This is where the Barbie is, this is where the pool is, the home cinema. That's us watching the UFC. The boys are over, the family's there, my little girl's there. Really just like getting into it, like really just fucking getting into the mindset of that. You know, if I drift off, I'm thinking about this. Oh, fuck, I shouldn't be thinking about that. Come back, motherfucker. What's your kitchen look like? Is it a big fucking island thing? And that's honestly how I keep doing it. My mind races. You listen to this podcast, you can tell I'm a bit of a fucking erratic guy. But I keep coming back to that, right? Just keep coming back to that, right? And it might not be a house. It might be what your next fucking holiday look like, what your bank account looks like, how you're going to get that money. I've got dreams of my own businesses one day, right? What's that look like? Where do I see the podcast? There'll be all things that I'll be thinking about, right? What's my perfect day look like? Digress. Saw a thing the other week, a guy, a local dude up here, Jordan Potts. I think he runs Exalto Health Clubs. He definitely runs that. That's how I fucking got onto him. But he, in a podcast, what does your perfect day look like? Wrote it in this book I'm looking at with all my notes, and I couldn't fill it in. It wasn't anything that scared me, but I was like, this is kind of sad, you know. I should be able to go what my perfect day looks like. So I'm chipping away at that. Slowly but surely, day to day, I'm chipping away at what my perfect day looks like. So that's a bit of a crazy thing. Some other tasks I've Nick's given me, I've sort of given myself, but some form of movement, which he's given me that. So thanks, Nicky. And then some form of cardio daily. I want to sort of either walk or run daily, get some shit in. And I like doing that. It's a good chance to listen to podcasts and get some self-education in, or just fucking blaring my ass and fucking ears off with metal, trying to run like I'm just a fucking maniac. Unreal. So good. Another one, some form of self-education. By doing the running or the walking, I can get a podcast in. I've listened to a podcast before when I was doing my zone stretches and things like that. And just reading. I want to fucking finish this Matthew McConaughey book. I love. It's a really good book, and I need to finish it. I've got like an ant's dick left, so I'm going to pump through that and try and get another book out for the end of the year. See how we go. But it's got a lot on my mind, a lot I want to achieve. So sometimes I find it hard to sit down and read a book. And the other one is like journaling. I've got this book here which I wrote my notes in for the Nick stuff, but every page I'm writing quotes down that I like, things that I'm trying to be grateful for, even things that I'm feeling fearful about, anxious about, things that like, I don't like this, you know what I mean? What I feel like at this point, and I find that it just helps me. I get one of these little motherfuckers, a little pen and the book, and I just go, you know what, today I felt anxious about this, and I think it's because of this. Sometimes just getting that shit out, that ink on paper, that thought out of your mind, mate, it helps me a lot, and it's a huge thing. It's a crazy thing. So, yeah, journaling, gratitude journaling, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You could think it's woo-woo and bullshit, but fuck you. You don't have to do it. I have to do it, though. So, yeah, that's my story, and that's where I'm at. So I've been like taking photos of my food, not posting on Instagram, but just taking photos so I can track all that sort of shit. I've been noting everything down. I'm gonna try and take some film of me doing the exercise and stuff like that. I might piece together a little video. I might post it on my YouTube channel. That's what I might do, because you know I fucking got one of those now, don't I? But yeah, that's the show, right? This is me sharing what I want to share, and I want to fucking share everything about my life with you guys. So on that note, it's time for the King of the Couch to clock off. That's episode 117. Fucking good to be back in the saddle. Tomorrow night, going to record a UFC 268 breakdown. Frank, it was the card of the year, so I'll probably riff on that for about 25 to 35 minutes tomorrow night. I'm going to have a fucking good time with that one. That'll be good. So check that out and listen to that if you're a UFC fan. Again, if you're still listening, thank you so much. Subscribe, drop a comment somewhere. More importantly, pay it forward, push it forward, get my name out there. Fucking tell people you listen to the King of the Couch. Tell them you love it. I don't care. And yeah, beyond that, have a great week, and I love you all.